There aren't many landmarks in Perth that feature in an Old English nursery rhyme. This one's been around for several hundreds of years and refers to the 12 Georgian bells of St Martin in the Fields. The very same bells that now ring out right here at the Swan Bells bell tower. The Church of St Martin in the Fields was founded in the late 12th century. It was initially built as a chapel for the monks who walked to their Covent Gardens from Westminster Abbey. The first bells were installed in the old church some 700 years ago. They were recast many times, including once during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. The largest of the bells is a 1,480 kilogram giant. It's the third largest change ringing bell in Australia, and it's even got a name, Zachariah, after Reverend Zachariah Pearce, who was the vicar at the Church of St Martin in the Fields in 1725. Over the centuries, the bells heralded many historic events. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588, Nelson's victory at Trafalgar in 1805, and Wellington's at Waterloo in 1812. And to give them an early Australian connection, the homecoming of Captain James Cook in 1771. They also rang out during the coronations of every British monarch since King George II. So how did these venerable objects with so much history end up halfway across the world? It's a story that begins back in 1986 with an Australian and New Zealand Association of Bell Ringers project, part of which was to acquire a major peal of bells for the University of Western Australia. The group discovered that the St Martin in the Fields bells might be available. After a few years of negotiation with the relevant church authorities in London, the bells were given to Perth as a gift to commemorate Australia's bicentenary. They were cleaned, retuned, refitted, and along with 5 new bells, found their way to Western Australia on the 13th of April 1988. But the bells didn't have a home. It took 10 years before ground was broken for the redevelopment of Barrack Square and the construction of a bell tower. With the casting of an additional treble bell to mark the new millennium in 1999, the 18-bell peal finally had a permanent home when the Swan Bells bell tower was officially opened on the 10th of December 2000. The bell tower was designed by local architects Hames Sharley. Given that boat building used to be a major activity at the Barrack Street location, it is no surprise that the architects gave the bell tower a noticeable nautical theme. Its copper sails reflect Western Australia's link with the water and the mining industry. The striking 82.2 metre high glass spire climbs the city's skyline and at night turns into a colourful beacon. The bells themselves are housed in the sail part of the tower at a height of 16.5 metres. This is precisely the same height the bells were hung at the Church of St Martin in the Fields all those years ago. Along with the bells, one of the tower's most impressive features is the view from the observation deck, a sweeping panorama that showcases the Darling Ranges, Swan River and green hills of Kings Park. The bell tower's 2-part design combines the history and solidity of the bells with the modernity and technology of the tower, the old and the new, brought together to create a Western Australian icon. Recognised as one of the largest musical instruments in the world, it's also the first place in the world designed to allow the public to view change ringing and watch the bell ringers, all volunteers from the St Martin Society of Change Ringers, practice their art. In 2002, the Central Council of Church Bell Ringers in the United Kingdom designated the Swan Bells as a ringing centre, the first such centre outside the United Kingdom. Ringing centres promote and teach the art of English change ringing, an English folk art which began in the 16th century. Change ringing developed when church bells were hung so they could be swung by a rope attached to a full wheel. This gave ringers complete control over their bell and allowed sets of bells to be rung in a continuously changing pattern. Music is created by changing the order in which the bells are rung to a defined sequence of changes, known as a method. The 18 swan bells are rung full circle, each by one ringer. The bell strikes once each time it turns. The art of ringing takes just as much skill and training as it does to learn any musical instrument. Students are taught change ringing at the Swan Bells. Once proficient, they can use their skills on the bells during scheduled ringing times. In the past, one of the more common uses for bells was to mark passing of time. This relationship can be explored in the It's About Time exhibition, right here in the bell tower. This is a fascinating display of precision timepieces, bells and optical instruments that demonstrate the ingenious mechanical ways time was kept before the world went digital. The tubular bells are another exhibit here in the bell tower. This instrument is displayed on the ground floor and is a combination of two sets of tubular bells from the United Kingdom. As you might expect, such a special location means many people want to share their most special moments with the bell tower. And what better wedding bells than those right here? Weddings and other functions are welcome at the Swan Bells. We hope you enjoy the Swan Bells Bell Tower and its historic collection of bells and timepieces. Have a great day.